The Grand Canyon does not exist.
Really? I heard it did.
No, my travel guide says it does not exist.
How do you know the travel guide is true?
Millions through the ages have followed the travel guide, proving the Grand Canyon does not exist.
What if it did?
It doesn't.
But what if it did?
It doesn't, I said. Your thoughts are not pure thoughts. Those doubts are from an evil source.
An evil source? Well, how? I just thought them.
There is an evil seed that resides deep inside you from birth. Don't listen to it. There is no Grand Canyon.
I wrote a paper imagining it existed.
I read it. I'm horrified by it. Those writings are from a humanistic point of view.
But I'm human.
Those are not the thoughts of the one who wrote the travel guide. The travel guide is the only truth.
Says who?
The travel guide.
Oh.
This conversation occurred in one form or fashion throughout my early years. Taking a different angle, I want to give you an imagined conversation with a similar conclusion. I love you, my son.
I love you too, Father. I'm hungry.
I gave you a travel guide to help you find food.
But I don't understand it. Since you have all the power in the world, can you help me find some food?
I also gave you free will, so you can choose your own path to find your own food. But warning, do not choose the wrong path.
Well, which path is the wrong path? What happens if I follow it and eat the wrong food?
You will get very sick, and it will be your own fault.
But if you know what food is wrong and you see me about to eat it, won't you stop me from harming myself?
That's called free will. When bad things happen, it's your fault. When good things happen, I'm the one who gets the credit.
But if you love me, why would you allow me to harm myself?
Free will. You are choosing your own path, the same as I want you to choose to love me.
Why would I want to love someone I depend on for my well-being, but who will let me die from making the wrong choice of what to eat?
It's called free will.
It's called fucked up.
Hey, don't use that language. It does not please me.
It's called free will. Remember?
Oh. From the movie Gia comes this quotation: life is not heaven. You don't have to be perfect. One does not question the truth, so said those who parented my thoughts from the moment breath first entered my lungs. I was surrounded by a herd-like mentality my entire existence. We met weekly to sing the songs of the travel guide and attended study classes taught by those who interpreted its perplexing meanings, beseeching an all-powerful spirit to enlighten our soul. At the youngest of ages, before I could even create a memory of the action, I was told I had accepted this message of the travel guide as truth, proving once more its validity. The sun rose and set over and over as I took up the task of learning and teaching others the ways of the travel guide. If there was a question to be answered, search the travel guide. If an action was deemed inappropriate, it was the travel guide that damned its practice, or was condemned by those who spoke from their interpretation of the travel guide. If a decision was to be made, the travel guide would reveal the path. If trouble or harm was encountered, the travel guide sang songs of comfort. Do not worry. Hardships are part of a plan, a specific plan just for you. Believing the travel guide validated that I was special, and following its precepts, I was holding the exclusive light of truth, while all others stumbled in darkness. Yes, I was special, because I knew the truth. The travel guide told me so. The travel guide and the followers who submit to its instructions says you should never question its truth in faith and practice. One is to follow and execute its directives without challenge. Like a wrestler using all his strength to break a match-ending chokehold, I have grappled with the results created when I failed its teachings, falling short over and over. Fingers of guilt pointing my direction by elders, friends, and parents. Innocent questions and sincere curiosities branded me as a heretic and ignorant. With continual failing and eventual parting from the agreed-upon compliance and understanding, I was rejected by those in the know. Followers are told by the travel guide not to break bread with an unbeliever. Turn from the infidel, walk away, as if your lives together never existed or retained any meaning. When you have failed all expectations, have you ever been left alone, trying to get through each day, wondering what has become of the only life you were taught to know? I was. What about the ones who stayed behind, actively attending to the travel guide's rituals and public practices of holiness? I later discovered they were still there, under the guise of redemption, practicing intimate contact with spouses other than their own, cheating business partners, deceiving others under bright choir robes of blue. Unbeknownst to the gathering of believers was a father forcing daughters to give pleasure as he lay open his bathrobe, mom hiding in the bedroom, recoiling in her own personal unrelenting hell. Denying any personal integrity to the altar of public perception, these and others proudly declare themselves followers of the true travel guide, sitting in the front row for all to see. Beliefs in a travel guide have commanded some to kill in the name of its author, or be killed as proof of your faith. Kill in person if you're brave or lack the security of your belief. Kill the spirit of inquiry and curiosity, as surely the travel guide, fragile and brittle as it must be, from traversing the ages, it will crumble, disintegrating under the microscope of your inspection. These are the questions I fearfully posed as a preteen around our dinner table, or when reading a mandatory devotional booklet, or driving to and from a gathering of the faithful. Here's another example of a conversation where you believe without question. Doctor, my baby won't stop crying. Here, give her Mrs. Winslow's soothing syrup. It will soothe her suffering and stop the pain of teething. But doctor, I heard it had harmful ingredients in it. Can't be. Millions have used it and found it to be worthwhile. But I was told, doctor, that it contains vast amounts of morphine. Well, that may be true, but morphine works. But doctor, I heard too much morphine could kill my baby. How long have you been practicing medicine? Eons and eons. Good medicine doesn't ever change. It still works today.
But doctor, haven't you kept up with new discoveries, new knowledge not available 100 years ago? We know today that excessive morphine can kill a baby.
I believe in what I was taught, as with all generations before. Mrs. Winslow's soothing syrup works. Period. End of discussion.
So, doctor, you continue to believe something that today has proven not to be wholly true and still continue to prescribe it.
If it worked for Mrs. Winslow's baby, it certainly works for me. Do not question the truth.
Would you get psychic surgery to cure your lung cancer, doctor?
Well, it worked for Andy Kaufman.
No, doctor, it didn't. He died of lung cancer anyway.
He didn't believe strong enough. It must have been a lack of faith on his part. Where are you going with these questions?
Doctor, to find a cure for my baby that has not been blindly accepted for eons just because someone told you so.
Here's my travel guide to help your search. It works for me.
Oh, for Christ's sake.
That's right.
Who's on first, doctor?
How would I know?
Exactly. It's a foundational principle that without need or want, a sale cannot be closed. Without someone's hunger, I have no one to sell my food. Only if I imprison you in a dark, dank room, so black, so dense you can't distinguish your hand from your face, can I demonstrate the value of buying my flashlight. The system works. It always has. Need begets solution. Want precedes fulfillment. I have the answer, but only if I can convince you a life with unresolved questions is not only devoid of present-day worth, but leads to some future everlasting banishment. I need to be reminded of a universal truth withheld from my formal instruction. Just because something is believed to be true does not cause it to be true. I can believe the moon is made of the best Wisconsin cheese, aged to perfection, but that belief will not make it in truth a delicious fromage. Belief should be the byproduct of careful exploration, weighing the credibility of each facet of its belief to its correlating historical, factual evidence. Yes, personal experience may corroborate aspects of what is believed, and at some point the word faith is used as a supporting girder of the overall structure. In my search, however, I want to be diligent and careful that I am not simply buying from an infomercial its only power, a professed solution to a manufactured need. Mrs. Winslow would have sold unimagined amounts of her potion if only she had thought to market a phantom pain implanted in every child at birth. Salvation only a spoonful of syrup away. I'm not sure what this travel guide is supposed to enlighten. Its mysteries are not troublesome to those who believe, whether they truly understand its deeper connotations or not. These are my questions, and I will seek. I will examine. I will inspect. I may find out the Grand Canyon really does not exist, but it won't be because someone told me. I am going to find out for myself. And if it did exist all this time, I am going to be one pissed off angel for eternity.